All right. Hello, everybody. Hey, Elizabeth and Lonnie, Puddles, Blake, good to see you. We are live back after a little vacation there for Canada Day and 4th of July. Hope you are all doing well. So let's just get straight into it. So, how's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
Yeah. Did you guys have a good, I guess, dive? You would have been 4th of July and, Lud, how was your Canada Day?
It was pretty quiet actually, which is just perfect.
Prefer it that way, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think would have been a little interesting with everything that's going on in the world, celebrating major holidays without really being able to do much, but still having fun. Hope you all had a good one out there wherever you are in the world. I guess, well, if you're in the US or Canada, otherwise it was a pretty normal day or week for you guys. Otherwise, hey Hawk, yep, live show, baby. So we're back, and woo, a lot of stuff went on in the last couple weeks since we last saw you guys. So I don't know, highlights for you, lad. What do you think was a major bit of news that we missed while we've been away?
Oh boy, in the game, jeez. I think maybe Hiro coming out was pretty massive.
Yeah.
Um, uh, the there's a like an actual big client update in 12.0. Um, yeah, I mean that brought some interesting things like challenging a friend's ST defense, which is kind of cool. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think Hero. He's the buzz right now.
Yeah, and tonight's show is pretty much going to be we're going to go with a little big Hero 6 theme with our quiz and whatnot. And yeah, there was quite a lot in the update. When is that actually going live? It's over here.
The
The
12.0,
12.0, right?
yeah, that went live like about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks ago now. It was Monday of
Okay.
last week.
So that whole challenger friend or clubmate sources tournament defense team, how do you go about doing that? I haven't actually seen that yet. Maybe I didn't update my client.
So you go onto your friends list or into your club's just roster, and you click on someone's profile, and then you scroll down to see their tournament defense, and there's a little challenge button. You just challenge that, and you get to pick your team.
Oh, okay. So that's where that is. So,
Yeah, it's not the challenge of friends that we wanted. It would have been nice to challenge someone directly in live, so you could both fight live. But
hmm.
it's a step in the right direction, and it does allow a chance to play against a friend in a manner of speaking.
Okay. So what you said you go to the friends list, right? Because I got that up now. And how do you get to their roster?
You click on your friend, and you go to profile.
Oh, profile, right. That's the bit I missed. And just scroll down. Oh, challenge, there it is. Okay. They didn't make that particularly obvious, did they?
No, they didn't. They could work on that, but yeah, it's still a fun little adjustment. You can use it to practice for conquest if it gets there, or I've seen some streamers. What they do is they get friends to say, hey, come challenge me, and then the streamer will fight their team live. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty useful. That's a lot easier than trying to time your battle at the same time in the
Yes.
queue. Because with delays and whatnot on streams, that's always interesting trying to watch people time that out, right? And then what else was in the big 12.0? I mean, did they say was there a bit of a graphical update or no? I want to say things are looking a little bit different.
There
Um,
might have been some minor things I didn't notice much. One thing that they announced is that there's a new event type coming soon,
yeah,
called event towers.
event towers. Yeah, there it is. Event towers. Get ready for a brand new type of event. Have we got any idea what that is?
The oh no, we don't. We know it's new. There's a lot of rumors going around of what it might be. I've heard one rumor that sounds really interesting, where it's kind of like Tower of Endurance, but each one requires like a different set of characters from an event. So like if you have some floors that require Incredible, some that require Lion King, some that require Toy Story, that would be really cool.
Hmm.
They haven't actually given us any information other than the name, although there have been a few savvy people who have found that it's going to have something to do with Stitch.
Oh, yeah. We were predicting some Stitch stuff coming in. That might be the way they're getting it into the game. Oh, that was it. The character effect icon display has been updated slightly. And I guess, oh yeah, this player can change their payout times every 2 times every 365 days. Very much mirroring what went on over with the Galaxy Heroes. So I guess some of the devs from there are pulling out some of their old tricks there. Um, do you know anyone who's actually changed their payout times?
Me,
Um,
me.
yeah, Die Maker has. There's been a bunch of people in my tournament that have actually. It's causing me problems because I'm used to
Yeah.
doing my turn like before this thing. Like there was no one who got paid out for 6 hours before me. So at 3 p.m., all the Europeans would be done, and then I'd do my climb, and the other people in my time zone would do the climb as well. And Die Maker, you were in my time zone. You would do the same thing at about between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Um, we've had Die Maker he went in the morning, so he's just completely away from
Yeah.
me now.
Yeah. I leave at work at 6, so I get everything done before 6 a.m. Tournament, everything, all my days done before 6 a.m. And I leave for work and don't have to worry about the rest of the day.
Nice.
That's really smart, and I'm thinking of changing mine into the morning too. We had 4 people who were in the European time zone change theirs to midnight for them, which is now 6 p.m. for me.
Right.
And so now I've got to wait longer because our tournament is like really civil. We're really chill about not knocking people down who we know have a payout coming soon, right? At least between like a large group of us that are near the top. There's a few people who we can't really get a hold of. We just do what they want and we just deal with them. But so now I have to wait till 6 to make my move, but I'm not used to waiting that late. So, like, and just today I almost forgot to do my tournament, and I just did it as we were going live.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So I have no idea about mine. I mean, for the majority and the people I don't even face them. I kind of just sit at the same position around, floating around 20. And they were all pretty much East Coast. There were a couple, maybe a couple that were West Coast here and there, but we pretty much avoided each other. Now I have no clue, and there's not a lot of communication. So it's not as advantageous unless you know what other people are doing. And so far, it doesn't seem to. Hawk there saying he changed his to avoid the 8 p.m. rush. Matthew got in, and
That's me.
yeah, so um,
we're pretty lucky that um, if I haven't been in a club with someone, then even with just a little movement that we've had over the last year between clubs, if I haven't been in a club with someone, then I've been club mates with that person at some point. So it's very easy to reach out, and we have good relationships with everyone. It's very easy to reach out and be like, hey, did you change your time? Oh yeah, I changed to this. Great. And then I just let everyone in my club know, and we just kind of avoid each other that way.
yeah, because I don't know if you remember, because you guys have started to set up the little shard chats for everyone
Yep.
on your server, and then when we started the one up for mine, the few people that came in there went, "Hey, what do we need this for?"
Yeah.
And pretty much just no Nintendo there. So yeah. Oh well, it doesn't seem to be affecting me too much. The thing that is affecting me is hitting the wall of people with stones and meta teams that I can't get past anymore. But somehow still clawing onto a top 20 spot there. And I think the other thing I noticed in the update was things like barley are now farmable. So you don't have to wait for the event to get that more prepared. And Ian is in there too. Any other major event characters there? No, that
I
was it.
think
That was pretty much the event characters that went free to play.
did they make Rafiki and Simba farmable?
Oh yeah, Rafik as well. That was in the next update as well, wasn't it? That was the next one on, which was the content update, which came a little after. So, oh yeah, and obviously the spell changes. That was the other big thing before Hero hit. So yeah, Rafiki went on with that this next update, which was he's on a he's on a grand campaign node, and so is Simba. So that's another set of event characters that are now farmable. And that was about it. So Simba,
So
Rafiki, Ian, Barley, and I guess Robin Hood. Was Robin Hood exclusive? Yeah, he
Robin,
wasn't farmable before on the
he
node.
used to be just in, he used to be
Yeah,
arena
payout
rewards.
or yeah.
And the four characters that are now farmable that weren't before suggest to me that their event isn't going to come back, or at least not in the way that we're used to seeing.
Hmm. Oh yeah, the trial. Lonnie's saying the trial requirements. Is it this thing here, Lonnie? It's the Mythical Sorcerer's Trial update.
Yeah, so
Uh,
they reduced the requirements for the stone trials, which is going to help a lot of people.
yeah, because I still do not. I don't think I've got off the base level for any of those yet. So that's definitely going to help me. And I know you were chasing dad moves, waiting for that event to come back, but they've have they nerfed it or they've just changed it? A lot of these are basically nerfs, aren't they? They
Yeah,
pretty much all of these are just they're no longer kind of AoE affecting. They just affect target and then possibly adjacent.
yeah,
Seems to
they
be it.
nerfed Wild Imagination and Dad moves, both of which were sorely needed. Um,
Hmm.
they they made Golden Hammer a little bit less effective if you're not using downtown heroes because you don't get the undefeatable if it goes on someone who's not downtown hero. But if you revive someone who's a downtown hero, instead of just being a revive, it's now a revive and they get undefeatable. So if you're using, like I'm using Dash, and he gets a nice little extra every time I bring him back with that.
Yeah.
And then
All right.
they fixed Cauldron. A lot of people are calling it a nerf, but to me they made it more consistent with the other summonable spells. Specifically Trigger and Bucket of Soldiers, and that Cauldron doesn't charge while it's on the field anymore, which
Hmm.
which is bad for a lot of people's strategies. The people who are using it to just constantly summon it and replace itself to get benefit from Kristoff and Dr. Facilier. So that's unfortunate for them, but they also fix that it gives turn meter along with magic, which was supposed to do before but was broken. So it's kind of a net neutral to me on
Yeah.
Cauldron's effectiveness.
Yeah. I think Wild Imagination was probably the reason I kept being competitive towards the top 20. That really helped. Now it's not as good. Might be why I'm struggling, or possibly it's the Sorcerer's Stones. But hi Black Fry, I know it's late for you, and Max as well. Apparently it's late for you wherever you are. Where are you at? If you're staying up late, and
It's only 2
yeah.
a.m. for Max, 2:30.
Uh, so Golden Hammer. It says bonus charge. Where was it? Base charge rate reduced. So does that mean it slows down in charging up? But to me, it feels like it keeps coming back around faster these days. I don't know if it's a bug. They try to make
It
it slower, and to me, it seems faster.
it charges slower on its own, but then it gets some magic whenever one of your character dies. So if you're getting hammered, pun intended, it'll charge
Hmm.
just as fast for you, maybe faster.
Oh, okay. So that's probably why it feels faster to me. So that is literally putting a nail in the coffin. You're already getting beat, and it just keeps on making things worse for you. So I guess yeah, that was the big thing before Hero hit was everyone was up in arms about I guess overall nerf of spells effectiveness there. But then they went and gave I think SHG was saying on his stream they basically gave Hero the ability to do something which probably should have been in a spell and maybe gave him too much of it. So, what have yours guys' experience been? Maybe Di wants to weigh in on this one with facing, or if you manage to get Hero, game changing or no?
No. He's good, mind you, but he's a very good support character. I've seen him. I've faced him. I have him at 5-star, tier 6 gear. So I've used him a lot, but he's not. I don't know. He's good in certain circumstances. Again, he's good on excellent on manual, but I'm not going to put him in my defenses anytime soon.
Right. Because I know a couple of guys in my club, and I think SHD was doing it on his stream, quite a lot of testing, managed to get timed out by a few teams or get into kind of endless loop situations. So I don't know if that's possibly only on like really end game players. Um, but I don't know if a lot of you run into any of that yet.
I've run into a couple heroes in PvP. He's going to be really good on manual, where you can control who gets the extra turn, when you can decide, when you're giving AoE evade to your entire team. And especially if you have if you shadow him, he gets really strong. On defense and tournament and stuff like that, I don't think he's going to be that game changing, because he's one of those heroes that you really have to control and manage
Right.
what he's doing. He's not like, say, a Mickey, who it's really hard to misuse him.
Okay. Yeah, Hawk over there in the chat, he's in my club, and he's put up there. He throws up a little every time he sees him in PvP, because I think he's had some really rough matches where he basically lost, I don't know, all but one of his team before he even took a turn. So I don't know what situation it was, but then you've got Blake saying that sometimes he's average and other times he's game changing. So at least he's not completely OP where he's impossible to get past, but definitely making life difficult for some people there, even at lower levels. I don't even think he needs to be that high up to be that effective.
Well, to me, it's going to be interesting to see what he's like when the rest of the Big Hero 6 team gets released.
Yeah, I think we were suggesting that maybe he needs a bit of a similar nerf to the spells and only be effective with Big Hero 6 team. Speaking of which, if we go on over and have a look at our top 10 this week, it is basically going to be based on teams that are in the game from movies, but are missing a lot of major characters. And as of yet, Hiro, which we knew was in the game and waiting to come up, is now actually available, but he's the only one from his movie in the game, so you can't even get a team of them together. So with these new events comes new characters, but then there are already lots of movies in the game that are missing their stars even. Some of them don't even have the major stars of their movie as playable characters, or even enemy bots in the game. So we're going to look at, this is a top 10 list that could easily have been, I think I counted as about top 30 list it could have been, because there's that many properties in the game, which is a good thing. But I've broken it down. So these are all the movies in the games from the 2000s onward. I think maybe next week, if everyone likes this one, we'll do the classic Disneys, because there's enough of those as well. So as you might have seen, then the first one up at number 10 was Princess and the Frog. That's going to be quite hard to make a team out of, don't you think? There's not a lot of super memorable characters that would make good playable characters in the game.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Facilier, and he's really good. As for what they could do with Tiana or the crocodile, I forget his name, or even Prince Naveed, like that, yeah, that to me would be a tough one. What do you think, Guy?
I'm gonna go and say I haven't seen that movie in a couple of years, so ask me a Toy Story. Oh.
We have plenty of Toy Story characters already. We could use more though.
Yeah, Toy Story got it covered. Oh yeah, the fire. the Firefly would be good. Yeah, it's gonna be really. That's why this has ended up at number 10. Because I just could not come up with a decent set of team. And some of these, it'd be nice if you could obviously get a whole hero team because that tends to be requirements sometimes. Same with villains. Some of these, even if you break down the whole movie, it's really difficult to put together a decent five from either good guys or bad guys, the way you can just make up five of each. Obviously, we've got the Doc in the game already, but the other reason it would be good is obviously we get another princess in the game. But yeah, that one seemed kind of hard to put together a
No,
full.
Lonnie and Elizabeth are putting them out there.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, and it's not a super popular film either. That's the
Right.
thing. So a lot of people have. I know lots of people who've never even seen it. I don't know. It kind of caught that weird period where Disney was having a bit of a dip, and when I believe they went back to the old school form. So this was literally the very last Disney film that was all hand drawn with paper and pencil,
Uh,
using
nice.
those kind of techniques. They may have spruced it up a little after, but the base of the animation was all done by hand. It's kind of a callback to that. So it looks a lot like some of the kind of golden era Disney, even though it was made in the 2000s. But it is a very good film. The music in it is amazing. They did actually make quite a few decent video games out of it. I think it came out on the Wii, had a lot of good interaction with those wave about controllers. But yeah, in terms of a team, for them, not so much. So that is why they are at number 10. And I think also need to get on with some of the questions for you guys. So um, I don't know if I got that queued up right. That looks a little off to me. Uh, there we go. Didn't give any away the answers this time so far. And also, I'm seeing a little inter-club banter there from my guys, Mr. Moneybags. Okay, so what creatures did the animators study when they were deciding how they wanted to make the microbots move? These are all big Hero 6 questions this week. Ooh, Lonnie's going with bacteria.
I'm gonna say like ants.
Ooh, good theory there.
I have no
Edie
idea.
went cats, and Di has no clue because it's not a Toy Story question.
Yeah, you got me there. Yep.
You want to take a wild stab in the dark on that one, or
I was actually thinking ants also, of how ants can crawl on top of each other and work as a team, and so I don't know.
uh, Nathan put octopus? That would be amazing. Kind of, yeah. They're kind of tendril-like when the bad guy has control of them. They're kind of tendril-like. But no, the panel is correct today. We have got fire ants specifically. They modeled them after fire ants.
Yeah,
So there you go.
nice.
And question number 2. I wonder how bad the delay is this week. I think I just gave away an answer. But this one's fairly obvious. Anyway, we're easing into those with the easy ones. Which two cities inspired the location of the film? Which is, if you know the name of the town, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
So nice, easy one there. I'll let the chat throw that one up while we move on to number 9. So number 9 on the list. Yep, Lonnie, straight in there. San Francisco and Tokyo. So number 9 on the list was Brave. Because we only have Merida and Mordu. And like I said, it's kind of hard to make up a full heroes team and a full villains team out of almost any of these. But you don't lack for characters here. So if we were going to build a team out of the Brave characters, what would you guys like to see there?
Twin brothers. The maybe
Mm-hmm.
mom turns into a bear, or vice versa. Got the dad.
Yeah, I was kind of.
Got one of the suitors. You know, the dorky one. I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna go. Yeah, Lonnie got it straight in there as well, which is showing off her Disney prowess here because a lot of people don't actually remember the names, and she was straight in there. Angus is the horse, so I thought that would be quite cool because then you got Sven in
Uh,
there, which clearly proves you can have you can have a four-legged friend in the game as a character, and Angus would be pretty cool. Obviously the Queen. So then there's the option of I was thinking you could either have I think you said the twins. It's actually triplets. There's three of them.
oh, that's right,
So
triplets. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So you could either have them as well as the queen. You could have them in bear form, or you can have them as themselves in human form.
Right.
Or like, do they turn into the bears for a move, or would you just bring them
Oh,
in
that,
as the bears? Would be kind of cool.
yeah.
Yep. And you got the wisps and the witch, and then Angus, which is the horse, and then obviously you got King Fergus and all those. So yeah, you could easily get a pretty good set of a hero team out of Brave there. Um, and obviously you can get another four-legged friend in there as another character. It would be amazing if they put in a category of just like horses, equestrian or something, because they got a category for pretty much everything else. I'm trying to think.
Then
There's
you
enough.
then
'Cause
then you'd have to bring in Mushu to curse the cow.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, because I mean, there is a full movie of cows which they haven't brought into the game yet. Um, and then I'm thinking a little further ahead as well. When you bring in Hercules, you're gonna have to have Pegasus. So that would be pretty cool. So yeah, I think there should be an equestrian origin soon, or coming in the future. That'd be pretty cool. And let's see, next question. And the answer for that last one was obviously San Francisco and Tokyo, which I believe Lonnie got. So that's coming up on the screen. What does yokai translate to in Japanese?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lonnie gets
Ooh, we got
demon, ghost.
yeah.
Those are
We
good
got
guesses.
Ghost.
I think it's something along those lines, but I really don't know what.
It is along those lines. It's close, but not quite.
Is it like Wraith or something? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yogurt.
You put yogurt.
It's not yogurt.
Yeah, no, it is not yogurt. That's hilarious though. Spectre. Okay, I think Nathan and Zan are the closest on that one. It is a form of ghost. It's more specific. Oop, I see who jumped down there. Nope. I think I'm don't know what happened there. We got do the microbots. Questions jump there. It is phantom. It is a phantom.
Ah.
So that's what that is translated to. And the next one up was which of the heroes, I don't know if you guys followed the original comic books, which of the heroes from the comic book did not make it into the film?
Wait, there was more of them?
Yeah, there's definitely more heroes. One was a replacement, so it wasn't even. I know the new movie is going to be called Big Hero 7. They may have solved that issue, but yeah, for licensing issues and whatnot, there were two, maybe three characters, but I think mostly two from the original comics that did not make it into the film. Lenny's got, hey, not fair. They had a comic book. Why is that not fair, Lonnie? Yeah, this is actually the first and only Disney film that is not branded Marvel because it is from the Marvel universe, but is not actually part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though the Marvel Studios helped them make the film.
Huh.
So yeah, and also in fact, the comics were out for something like 10 years before the film actually came out, and they only released 13 comics. So that's like 1.3 a year. It's a really slow series of books to come out. But yeah, if you weren't a fan of those, the two heroes that might be in Big Hero 7, the reason they didn't make it was for licensing because at the time Marvel wasn't in-house Disney, and now obviously most of Marvel is back with Disney. was Silver Samurai and Sunfire did not make it into the film. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that would have been weird.
yeah. So,
So, I think at the time that movie came out, didn't Fox still own the rights to mutants for Marvel
yeah,
characters? Okay, so that's why they couldn't put Sunfire in.
yeah. So there's a few licensing issues, which is why Sunfire didn't make it specifically. And then Silver Samurai was kind of like one of the original on the Big Hero 6 team. So if you're into that kind of thing, go out and check out those comic books. I think they're still making them now, a little faster since the film came out. And then we move on up to number. Oh, there's a Marvel DC fight going on here. Lonnie versus Die there. DC is better.
Yeah, we're not going to argue
Lonnie's
that
going,
because
and Lonnie's going, never. I don't know. I like bits of both. I mean,
no,
it's the whole. Wasn't that the whole thing?
Lonnie's right. DC is never better.
Oh, here we go. We're starting next week. We're gonna have a DC Marvel podcast. No, so we're getting a spin-off show off of the main show. Yeah, isn't that was the thing when you were kids? It was either you were Sega or Nintendo, and you were Star Trek or Star Wars, and it's like I don't know. I was always like, it's all one big thing. Just have one giant nerddom. I want it all. I don't like one more than the other. So yeah, so space for everything here. And number 8, I went with A Bug's Life. They're super underrepresented in this game. However, they have plenty of characters. I mean, the main core of that film is obviously the little circus troupe, and there are more than 5 of those. So I don't know which ones you would pick there. Obviously, there's 3 different kinds of grasshoppers for the evil side. I don't know if you want a generic grasshopper there as one of your characters.
We have Hopper.
Yeah. So we got Hopper, and there's no heroes at all. He's literally the only character from the game.
I think we have one of the
in the game.
We have one of the Beatles as a PvE character.
All right.
Yep. He's the main guy here carrying everyone. Yeah, he's only a PvE character. There's a 3-minute lag to my screen. Seriously? Oh, wow. That's a serious lag. Let me see what's going on there.
I don't have that much of a lag, Puddles. Maybe try refreshing your browser.
maybe a little bit. I didn't think it had ever been as bad as 3 minutes. Actually, I don't even know what latency I picked this week. I'm on low, so yeah, it should actually be average delay rather than regular delay. I don't have that tag. What's that about? Oh, you don't have that tag? Bug's Life tag? You don't have Bug's Life tag, Hawk?
It doesn't have the lag with an L. No.
Oh, okay.
Hawk's got your back.
I'm
don't
reading
worry.
off Okay, I misread that one. Okay. Oh, 3-second lag from my phone to my laptop. Okay, I guess, yeah, sometimes it depends on if you're in different devices and stuff. There can be, I think, obviously, you'd assume a laptop with a hard line would be better, but, okay, we'll try and push through the lag. Oh, it's to max screen, not chat. Oh, the screen. Okay, maybe I'm just not updating it fast enough. I gotta go faster with my mouse. So yeah, again, you don't even have the main hero from that film in the game. This list kind of started out as being characters we don't have main heroes from, but again, it's quite a large list, so we had to narrow it down. It's obviously Pixar's second film, and I'm not sure many people have revisited that one for some reason. It's kind of overlooked quite a bit. When's the last time you guys saw A Bug's Life?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Like a decade, at least. It's been forever.
Yeah, so unfortunately it seems to be one that's overlooked. So yeah, we definitely need Flick from there. He's the main ant in the film. And then obviously we only have Hopper. And then you could have the stick insect, which is Slim. I think would be a really fun model to have in the game just because he's so goofy and funny looking. just to get a stick insect in there. I would assume they'd get a wild tag, unless they come up with something else. And see everyone long time ago. I would advise people to go back and watch that one. It's a good little film, and it still holds up pretty good. And it's got an excellent cast. So and you've got a whole bunch of ants and the ladybug. He's really good in the film. He would make an excellent attack character, I think. Yeah, that's in everyone confused ants and A Bug's Life. That was at the time when studios still do it, where they all figure out and what the other is making and make the same kind of version of that film. Which is why you had things like Armageddon and then Deep Impact and all those kind of films. Just there was always two kinds of the same film from different studios. So let me see if I can get ahead of the lag here on the screen and go to number 7 while I pull up the next question, which would be Baymax walking style is based on what?
Penguin.
Oh, good call.
And then Johnny's saying, hey Johnny, an all bug team would be a lot of fun. Yeah, just for the animation alone, that would be pretty cool. Like I said, I really want to see the stick insect. So, crab, that would have been interesting. A balloon. Yeah, I've come across a bunch of different answers. The most reliable I can find does say penguin. It's based on a penguin. If you notice, he waddles along with his little feet and he keeps his arms by his side. But then I was on an official Disney site and they were running a quiz, and one of the questions was the same thing. What was Baymax walking style based on? And for some reason, the answer, I don't know if it was the people running the website having a little fun, said it was a baby with a full diaper. So I think it's possibly a cross between a penguin and a baby with a full diaper, which made me laugh. So, and then next question up, which the answer was penguins, and this is probably a little out of date when I pulled this question. So, which two other Disney or just name two other Disney films that Alan Tudyk has voiced a character in? He has a pretty major role in.
He was Turbo in King Candy and Wreck-It Ralph, and yeah, because Zen Joker has already said the answer in the chat. He was Hey Hey in Moana.
Yep, Moana, Wreck-It Ralph, and also.
And he's an amazing voice actor. All the stuff is like, so good.
If you want to have a good laugh, obviously we're all diving down YouTube rabbit holes under quarantine. Go and look up Alan Tudyk doing Hey Hey's chicken voices in the sound booth. It's amazing. He's literally sitting there doing chicken voices over and over and over again. So apparently also he did a voice in Frozen, and I don't actually know which voice he did. Oh no, he's Duke of Wesselton, isn't he, in Frozen? So he had a pretty major one in there. He was in Frozen as well as a pretty big part there. So he not only does little cameo smaller parts, he does pretty big things. So I think he's rivaling. He's kind of like forgotten his name now, but Cliff from Cheers. He's their guy.
John Ratzenberger. Yeah, he's got a role in every Pixar movie he's in.
Yeah, so it's almost like he's rivaling Alan Tudyk does that for like the Disney studio films instead. Yeah, so Duke of Weaseltown. So there's that. So at number 7, hopefully there wasn't a delay there on my screen. I picked Moana because, again, plenty of good characters from that, but I don't think enough to get a full team of 5.
Well, obviously Moana and Maui, right? Like I think everyone can agree on that.
Yeah. Because Moana, obviously, it's another star, not in the game.
Right. I think probably the chief you could make an interesting character out of. And then, who's the name of the bad guy, the big crab thing in Moana? I never remember.
I never do. I always call him Shiny.
Tamatoa. So that would be an amazing raid boss.
Yeah.
Right? Like.
Yeah, if we get a raid, that would be cool. And yeah, also we got the coconut guys as well, which is featured in another top 10 previously. which I don't think we caught that one. But the coconut guys aren't actually coconut guys. They're weird little pygmies wearing coconut armor. So,
And
yeah, hey,
the
yeah,
chicken
go and die.
the chicken could be a spell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, but doesn't part of you just want a chicken as a playable character that is like really tiny compared to everyone else and just runs across and pecks someone? I just want it for that.
Just like all the other tiny characters, just hide them behind Mordu.
Yeah, that you would just never see him. And wouldn't it be amazing if he was like the highest attack rating and he just went? I'd almost envision it as being a little like Dash's attack. You just don't see him coming, and then he just like pecks like a mad rooster crazy chicken thing.
It just made me think of like some really cool mechanic the devs could bring in for a small character like that, where they give them like a super tiny click box so that you can't target them.
Yeah,
it's like the ultimate stealth.
There'll be a new effect in the game. It was just tiny. So Shanu's like, can the water be the spell? Oh yeah, that might be better because that would be a really cool animation of just having a massive wave come crashing over things. That's a good call there, Yanu. And oh, heck yeah, buff chicken. Needs to be hey needs to be meta. Totally great. So yeah. And then I always forget the name of the pig.
I don't know.
Little piglet. So I don't know. We're getting a lot of creatures in the game. Oh yeah, there's the grandmother manta ray. That could be a good spell too. So yeah, there's tons of options. Maybe for spells more than characters. But yeah, that'd be pretty good. Bringing Moana. That's it. Got the name of the piglet there in the chats. So switching up back to the questions, what is different about Stan Lee's cameo in Big Hero 6? Pua the pig.
It was animated, whereas normally he's live.
Technically, that is correct, I guess. That's the same thing. That's funny. Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah. He's represented as a super. Oh, I seem to keep jumping my question thing. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Not giving away answers. I'll scroll too far up. Post-credit scene. Puddles is the closest so far. So basically, yeah, he has 2 cameos in the film. He appears twice. Here you go. What's different about that? And we're back. Maybe that's why you guys are getting a delay because I keep messing up with the question. He has 2 appearances. So yeah, he doesn't usually get 2. He normally is just in one. I'm sure he might have had 2 in another film. But yeah, in Big Hero 6, he's not only animated and made out of CG. Only saying he's represented as a superhero. I guess he kind of is. But yeah, he got 2 appearances in there. So yeah, a lot easier for Stan Lee to do 2 appearances when he doesn't actually have to appear and can just do the voiceover. So yeah, Puddles and Lonnie combination winners there. And then moving on to number 6, another film that does not have has one of the stars. And then we're lacking Nick Fox in the form of Zootopia. No shortage of characters there. So, Dying Loud, what do you think? Zootopia team.
I think
we lost a guy there.
Yeah, I think like the other Disney game has 4 playable characters from that movie, and I think DSA, there is so much you can do and so much you can pick from them. Yeah, it's obviously Nick Wilde would have to be in there. You can have some of the police officers in there. You could have the mayor who's a lion would be great. Finnick would be really cool. I mean, lots and lots of choices and lots of potential. You could even have like what's this slot's name? Flash? Yeah, you know, Flash in there. Yeah. Although his animations would take so long that would annoy everybody.
It's just yeah, I was just thinking that'd be an amazing one. His special move would be just like timeout, but Oh no, his special move, he wouldn't have to move. He could just like jump into his Lamborghini and run everyone over. Nathan's saying, yeah, everyone's getting the names there. Solani's going Nick, Judy. Oops, scroll up. I just realized that I can actually scroll the chat that is on screen above my head. Judy, Nick, Chief Bogo, Mayor Lionheart, and Duke Weaselton. So, is there a Duke Weaselton in Zootopia, or is that just a callback to? And then Moving Man made it. Hey, welcome, Moving Man.
I mean,
What's that?
you also have. I mean, isn't those bears in PVE?
Oh yeah.
The bodyguard.
Oh yeah.
Bodyguard bears.
Yes.
Yeah, the polar bears.
Yeah.
So they're all the henchmen there, for the mafioso king. So yeah, you could get. This is one of the films where you could actually get a full set of villains and heroes out of it. But yeah, it's kind of lower down the list just because in a way there's too many to choose from. So there it is. So. And they saying Zootopia leaked Frozen 2 before it came out, as well as some other movies. I'm not sure what he means there. Did it leak Frozen 2?
I think the Duke Weaselton character.
Oh, he had a cameo in it or something?
Yeah, the fact that both have a character with the same name. Although I think in Frozen 2, in Frozen it's Wesselton, and not Weaseltown.
Oh, maybe it's just a play on words.
It is, yeah.
There's quite a few like that. What's Big? What was it? There's so many in Big Hero 6. Like there's an absolute ton in Big Hero 6. And I think in Zootopia there's a reverse of that as well. I think you can see a poster in Zootopia that says Pig Hero 6, which is quite funny as well. So, oh, Gazelle and Dancing Pants too. I think everyone's doing major crossovers now. I can't keep up. Oh yeah. We pirated some of the movies and showed them Frozen 2. Just I have to go back and watch it. I think I only saw that when it came out. I need to go back. There's so many of these we need to go and watch. This is kind of the other good thing about this list is just reminding you how good all of these films were, and I'm definitely going to watch a few of these during the week. And let's see. Let's get up another question. The battle scene between Hiro and Yama's butts bears a strong resemblance to a scene in what other Disney movie? So if everyone remembers that little underground.
I actually watched Big Hero 6 yesterday, and that's one of my favorite scenes. It just happens to be right at the beginning.
Yeah, it's pretty close to the beginning, just for the little moped chase. I think we're confusing Moving Man as well, who just got here. It's like, what are we even talking about?
Yeah, I don't. Nothing comes to mind for that one.
Ooh, ED 500 went Speed. It's another. Yeah. It's actually another Pictron. It's close. I went with. I think the answer to this was. It's actually The Incredibles. It's Yama's bot is like one of Syndrome's big round bots with a little head on it.
Yes.
And then his Megabot is basically almost like the claw that Mr. Incredible uses to go and smash a hole right through it and take out the middle. So the animators were kind of doing a callback to that. So it's that is why they look so similar. It's kind of his little bot is black, and obviously Syndrome's is silver and has little arms. But yeah, I thought that was a pretty nice way to sneak in a sort of Easter egg that is right in hiding in plain sight there. So I just gave away the answer. Dope. Did that last week. I really thought I double spaced everything to try and if no one saw that, hopefully it slid by quite quickly. Moving Man, I missed all the good stuff. I think he wanted to type there. No, we still got another 5 to go. You're good. So what did director Don Hall use as inspiration for Baymax's eyes when visiting a Japanese temple?
No clue.
There's a delay. I'll let it catch up, and I'll move on to number 5 while that's loading. So I'll let you guys drop the answers for that. Number 5 is Wreck-It Ralph. I went with for number 5.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. Are you waiting for that one?
I am waiting for Wreck-It Ralph. You've got lots of good characters. It will probably come with a big Calhoun buff, and anyone who knows me knows that I'm a big fan of Calhoun. So yes, give me Wreck-It Ralph, give me Felix, give me Vanellope, give me Turbo or King Candy. Like, oh yeah, there's so much fun you can have with this one.
Oh yeah. I think you could probably get a whole bunch of bad guys and good guys for this one.
If they ever
But yeah,
bring in raids, Turbo slash like the big Cybug Turbo thing at the end would be an amazing raid boss, especially when he like comes out and says "Welcome to the boss level." Like if they could get that audio clip in there as well, it'd just be fantastic. I can't wait for a Wreck-It Ralph event.
Actually, this is a good point you bring up. There's not really audio clips from any of the movies in the game, are there?
No,
Like
there
little
isn't.
quotes and stuff. They that would be a nice little touch, but I'm sure there's a licensing issue for that. So, as well as payments to voice actors, whatnot. Hawk's on his way. We'll see you later, Obi. Did anyone else take the survey? Which move are you least interested in them adding to that list? Gargoyles, Hunchback, or not? What survey, Converge? Was there a survey that came out?
There was a survey. There was a link available in the official news channel, the Discord, for about 6 hours. And it was a survey that allowed you to give feedback on characters you'd like to see. And I think it was most of that, actually. But it was all preset. Like, you couldn't type in your own characters. It just gave you a list of, like, 5 characters every time. And be like, hey, who do you want to see more and who do you want to see least? And then they give you a different list.
Oh, right. I'm a Zan. I want gummy bears.
No, we don't need the gummy bears.
Why? What do you got against the gummy bears?
There's just so many better characters we need first.
I don't know. It was one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, and obviously I ate a lot of that branded candy. Because I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember, gummy bears, you literally used to, you could obviously buy other gummy bears, just generic gummy bears, but when that cartoon was out in the height of its popularity, you could buy Disney branded gummy bears, and the molds resembled like little jello molds of the actual characters in the show. And they tasted so much better. They were that little bit more squishy. Or maybe it's just a kid thing. It's like brainwashed by the Disney corporate that they tasted better, but I think they did. So, yeah. So, oh, Lonnie, no gummy bears for people. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, there's other stuff. I'd like to see them eventually. That would be fun. Obviously, we're hoping for a long life for the game, so they'll get in there eventually. Johnny, would Wreck-It Ralph characters get the tech tag? Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Tech tag. We haven't said anything about tech tag that came along with Hiro. Isn't there some major speed boost that comes along with tech tag at one point as well?
Yeah.
Synergy wise.
Hero's leadership boosts tech characters by 10% their speed. So similar to Shan Yu, but just a little bit bigger of a boost. And then he also boosts Big Hero 6 characters by an additional 10%. So presumably up to 20% for them. We haven't talked about it much right now because officially there's only Hiro that has a tech tag.
Yeah.
Although some preliminary testing has showed that at least 2 other characters have a hidden tech tag.
Ooh, which characters are those?
Well,
it's got to be fixed. Wow.
We haven't. One of them was discussed earlier on the Discord, but the other one wasn't talked about yet, and I found out during my testing. But so far, Emperor Zurg and Syndrome are getting a benefit from Hiro's leadership.
Oh, so it's actually working even though they don't have the tag?
Yes.
Ah, nice. So, John's asking hidden tech tag. I guess that's what we mean by hidden.
That wasn't data mining. That was just pure play testing. Don't at me.
Hey, Meathead. Thanks for coming by. I think actually that might, if you're still around me, there's a bunch of questions. I think one of them was really specifically aimed at you, actually, because I don't think there's any way we could know. While he's here, let me quickly grab that question, because I saw a question that said, what are the devs thinking? And I'm like, I know people want to know, but we're clearly not devs, so I don't know why you'd want to ask us that question. Let me see if I can pull it up quick. While that's going on, why don't you answer? this next one. Oh, it's Suzu bells. They're bells in the Japanese temples that have little slits in them that look a little bit like Baymax's eyes. I'm gonna throw that up there, and you guys can figure out what was Wasabi's full name in the comic book while I quickly pull up that question. You got not a clue.
Not a clue.
Oh, there you go. Zan got it. Zan's got it.
Wasabi no ginger, nice.
Put tacos. Wasabi tacos? I don't know. That's a new one. Ooh, can you imagine wasabi on a taco?
I'm sure
Is
it's
that
not.
with or without the salsa? No. Oh, it's like no, another comic book question. Okay, I think I got it here. Where is it? Oh, so it's a really super long question. I don't know if he wants to respond either. I think it basically what it was along the lines, Meathead, if you're still in here, it was along the lines of balance. I think it was. The question was along the lines of with Frozen coming in, there's now obviously a massive, very highly powered team, and are we going to see more teams coming? Is that down the pipeline of obviously we'd like to see new characters in the games with all these literally this list that we're going over right now. Will they be able to rival the powers of things like Elsa and such? So I don't know if Meat had got that, but if you don't have to give us specifics, or obviously Lud and Die, you can weigh in on what you think's coming. But yeah, do we think all of these teams that we're discussing right now that we'd like to see in the game are going to get be powerful enough so that there's more of a kind of balance? Well, not balanced meta, but a more varied meta, that there are going to be more meta teams that can all rival each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Short answer.
I mean, from the developer standpoint, they kind of have to, right? Because if they have the Frozen team released and then if they never released another team that could beat them, let alone rival them, there's not a lot of incentive to spend, and there's not a lot of incentive to get better characters if you can just sit on your Frozen team and still win all the time. So, from a business standpoint, there's gonna be teams that are gonna beat Frozen, and each new team released is gonna push forward a little bit on the current meta and the power creep.
Right.
And we'll still be able to pick and choose from those teams, and collab a new meta team, because we can pick, from Frozen, and we can pick from Incredibles like Dash, and we can pick from, the Kingdom team or the Aladdin team, and, we can pick and choose certain characters and create a nice, good meta team.
Oh, here we go. We got an answer from Meathead, which was Elsa was considered our first legendary character. Yeah. And while we will consistently be looking to bring more characters into the game, as you saw with Lotso and team characters, will excuse me, will serve or find a purpose. Yeah, it does seem to be that way. So people are finding interesting new ways. I think Cozy was the first one because he rushed out like a madman and bought his way into a higher level Toy Story 3 villains team quite quickly, and was finding quite a bit of success countering Elsa. So that was an option there. And obviously Hiro, everyone's still testing because he's still quite new. So yeah, and also in Club Conquest, you can use all the advantages there to get past Frozen teams. It might not help you in PvP, but I guess that speaks to the answer of balance within the game for all modes, not just PvP. So thanks, Meathead. Cool. So yeah, so I don't know, which of the teams so far that we've looked at, guys, would you want to see as being a counter to Frozen, or just all of them? Because they can't all be good, right?
Out of the ones so far, for me, it's an easy choice in Wreck-It Ralph. But I don't know how everyone else
Wreck-It
feels.
Ralph, yeah.
Oh yeah, they give Calhoun a big boost, and then give me the other ones, and just let me mow people down.
So what is it? Why do you like Calhoun so much? Do you use her now in any comp, or do you just?
No, because she's just not that good in this game. But I used her in Disney Heroes a lot, and she was one of my favorite there. And then during the early part of beta, when it was 3 versus 3 here, she was actually really good, and I used her in a few different team comps. And I just like when we first got customizable avatars in Disney Heroes, she was the first one I went with, just because I just like the character. She has more backstory than like pretty much all the other Wreck-It Ralph characters, and she was just like she's just like a badass take charge character. I just really like that, but she had a soft spot that was hidden underneath all there. So just I don't know.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean everyone's got a favorite character, so no, it's not a bad one to have. So yeah, I mean I think with all the characters coming in, Johnny was saying like the best team is still a hybrid team. That's going to be the thing when all of these characters come in or get released or whatever it is. I don't as much as they're trying to go with synergy, which is really nice for possibly they'll be like mode specific for synergy. But yeah, it's going to be more and more theory crafting and mixing up of teams to. Especially when you have that many characters and with different tags like the tech tag. So
I think single best team will always be a hybrid team from here on out. Having these
probably
full teams like Incredibles and Frozen and stuff end up being really good for things like Conquest, where you can use multiple of them at the same time. So you've got a nice little mix there, but yeah, definitely hybrid from here on out. And you're seeing that already.
yeah. Well, I mean, if the game has so many characters and some good balance and some good synergies overall, then we're definitely going to see a lot of decent theory crafting, which is just going to make things better. Puddles has said Tinkerbell, Sven, and 3 more animals is going to be the next meta. So, yeah, we got a lot of insects, animals, and beasts options from just our top 6 so far. So we probably should move on and go number 4, which is one of my favorites, which is Monsters Inc. So I didn't know whether to include Monsters Inc. or Monsters University, because obviously they haven't really hinted at Monsters University yet. It's all just been Monsters Inc. So we're obviously missing Mike Wazowski and Boo. So I don't know who else you guys would want to bring in from Monsters Inc., but that is number 4 there.
Yeah, I think you're a big Monsters Inc. fan, right? I know you like Randall.
Yeah, like Randall. You got that. Oh my goodness, it's late. My brain's going. That the lady that I'm always watching you.
Right. Always watching. Yeah, I think she has to be in there. Just for that. She can throw a clipboard at you.
Yeah.
And then Lonnie's saying, yeah, clipboard, sharp pencil, biting wit. Those should be some good specials. And then, yep, gotta have Roz. Then Lonnie's saying, yep, Mike Boo. Yep, Cecilia. That'd be good. She's got all those
and
snakes.
then the boss that's a crab. What's his name?
Oh yeah, isn't he like? Well, he's a monster. He's got like octopus legs.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. I was with you there. Yeah, he'd be good too. Yeah. So I mean, there's obviously no shortage. And then obviously, if you pull in Monsters University, you've got an instant team of heroes there just from the college campus guys.
Waternoose.
OED coming in. Sanderson, that was it. It was Mr. Sanderson. And then Henry J. Oh no, hang on. Who is George Sanderson? Henry J. Waternoose, Mr. Krabs.
Yeah,
is everyone just like shouting out random names now?
The dean from Monsters University could be really good. She'd be a great character to have in the game.
Oh wow,
yeah.
She could even be a raid boss too, and she'd be really good.
Ooh, really pushing for the raids there, huh?
I hope Meathead's still taking notes in chat here.
Yeah. So, vampire cheerleaders for Monsters Uni. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how much licensing issue there is pulling in from another film. I don't know if it's considered same universe or it'd be another license, but yeah, there is so much to pull from the Monsters franchise as such. Yeah, there'd be no shortage of characters. That is, again, one of the ones. That's why they're slightly higher up, because it's another one of those ones where you can actually pull a full team of villains as well as a full team of heroes. So that would be good. And I can see events. If we're trying to make events a little more interactive, then that is a world, especially with the university movie, where you could make the event a lot more interactive there, with stages and little scenes and cutscenes and whatnot. So yeah, she would. Vampire cheerleaders would be OP. No, movie man, it's not happening. Kingdom Hearts again. But I did actually manage to get that Kingdom Hearts game going, so I think I might be streaming one of those soon.
Oh, nice.
I think I fell behind. It looks pretty good. It's a lot of fun, and it does have quite a few of the characters in there. So I might be streaming that one this weekend or during the week if I get some time. Um, can't go weekend. Yeah, it is kind of a running thing. Has to be brought up at least once a stream. Um, the obstacle course type event for Monsters University would be interesting. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. You kind of need a console controller for that, but yeah, maybe if you can kind of defeat a few things in stages as you go along, and then you can get some animations to cover that. That would be cool. And then if we want to go back to our quiz questions, in an earlier version of the script, what was Mochi the cat wearing? Saying the lag is better this week. That's good. Well, I move on to number 3. You guys can ponder that answer.
I have no idea.
Mm.
I'm guessing that's something that did not make it into the final version of the movie.
No, it did. It did not make it into the film, which is one of the later questions as well. I think of where did Mochi come from.
Okay.
Yeah, if the chat has no idea, I don't know how much saying the lag's better, but we're not getting any answered. A Mochi ball. How would a cat wear a Mochi ball? Kimono. It's quite a big cat. No, for some reason, in the original version of the script, I would imagine it was the artwork. Mochi had rocket boots, apparently.
Oh.
So yeah,
That'd be interesting.
had rocket boots. And then I think the question started getting harder. It's just ice cream. We're talking about Mochi the cat, or it's I don't know if you're having some fun with us there. So, and then Baymax's huggable design is based on a new form of research being done at Carnegie Mellon University called what? And it's not ice cream. While everyone's coming up with answers to that, we're moving on to we're down to the top 3. So home stretch now. So Lilo and Stitch. So obviously, if you pull from the bigger universe of Lilo and Stitch, you have a butt ton of characters you can pull from there. Definitely all the experiments. So you got at least 828 to pull from there. And then you've got a bunch of good guys, bad guys. We at least want Lilo to go along with Stitch, right?
Yes. Lilo for sure. Even like just a lot of the experiments. Like there's so many experiments that you can pull from and bring into the game.
Yeah, I mean we got Zap already, so as a spell. Yeah, definitely that's got to be a pretty big event for Lilo and Stitch. Much beloved characters. It's been sitting there taunting us for a while. 627. They only have 627 experiments. Am I getting the number wrong? What was Stitch's number?
626 was Stitch's.
Oh, it's 626. I don't know. I got twisted. 826 in my head. Yep. Pull more. Was it? All right. So yeah, you got all the experiments, and obviously you get Lilo in there. Gantu and but yeah, you'd be able to pull way more from the cartoons as well. And you've got Angel, obviously. There'd definitely be a team of heroes there from Lilo and Stitch, and I think that's a greatly anticipated set of characters coming into the game. That'd be a pretty cool event too. And no one gave an answer for that last question, so I'll just pull the answer out for that. It was called soft robotics. I think they literally saw an arm that had it was inflatable, which was for healthcare, and they kind of took inspiration for that and turned it into Baymax. Mac, you get it if okay. I think I'm missing something here with Moving Man, or it's just getting too late for me. But yeah. So, any more thoughts on the Lilo and Stitch faction, or we just basically want Stitch, right?
We want Stitch, and then that police guy would be good to have in the game as well. I think you could do a lot with him. Even I think the guy in the tux, the FBI guy, I think his name's Cuddles or something. He'd be really good. You could have some fun with him. He'd be a good tank or something.
Hey, Artemis. Yeah, Artemis just wants Stitch. Yeah, honestly, I would just take Stitch. Getting unlocked. Obviously, if that's coming, there's got to be an event. You could at least have Lilo. And yeah, probably Gantu. He's the galactic police guy.
Yeah, that's
yeah. So so back to the Big Hero 6 thing. Got a few more on those. So what was Honey Lemon's purse originally going to include?
I could see it having some sort of projectile system to shoot out the balls, so she didn't have to throw them herself. I don't know if that was in the plans or not.
So the plans were a little grander than that, and obviously it's popped up on screen now that we're talking about Big Hero 6. I thought it'd be a little too obvious to put them at number 1 because they're kind of a pre-made hero team already from the movie itself. You don't have to assemble them. They are literally a hero team within their own lore. So remember Lemons. I'm loving Moving Man's answers at the moment. So I guess this was more of a grander plan for her. It wasn't any one little thing. They were apparently going to jam the entire periodic table into her little purse.
Oh my gosh.
So that would have been some amazing tech.
Including all the radioactive elements?
Apparently so. It says the entire periodic table. So I don't know how. I think that basically that just makes her a movie all onto herself if she's trying to somehow bring that into the storyline. But yeah, I can see that why that went away. It could get opponents to miss a turn. Plutonium. Yep. Pretty much the entire periodic table there, Moving Man. So yeah, number 2 is the Big Hero 6 team, I guess. We obviously just got Hiro, which means hopefully Baymax is not far behind. I'm sure Cozy would love that. He's waiting for that to happen. But, as of yet,
I have this sneaking feeling that Baymax isn't going to be in the initial wave of Big Hero 6 characters. That they're going to save him for later.
Yeah.
I know nobody wants to hear it, but I just have this feeling in my gut that he's not ready to be released.
Yeah. I can see that happening because obviously, like with the team here, you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Baymax would be 6. So they could potentially release the hero team without Baymax.
Yeah, I think Puddles is
Baymax
onto something.
Yeah,
he's going to be a legendary. And I could see him requiring all 5 instead of just 4 like Elsa did. I could see him requiring all 5 to get him.
That would make total sense to have an event where you need all 5 to unlock Baymax.
And what I think would be nice too is instead of, like, as much as I like the Frozen event that was set up nicely for free to play, releasing all 4 of them at once and then saying you need all 4 of these to go get Elsa, it was still a lot of pressure for free to play to like really spend out their resources and try and get her. If they took their time with the Big Hero 6 team and put out like 1 a month for a few months, and then at the end of all that saying, okay, now that you've had time to build these guys, or at least start, here's Baymax, you need all 5 to get them, go. I think I'd like it if they did it kind of that way.
Yeah, I mean that would be a new way to bring in an event is make like a month-long arc of getting one of these at a time instead of just trying to jam it all into what it's normally a 10-day event, right? An event run. So
Hmm.
it's everyone's scrambling already, and if we start bringing in all 10 that are in this top 10 as new origins to chase after, split focus just
Yeah,
takes on a whole
and
new meaning. So
Aquanova brings up a good point in the chat, where that it's that pressure that makes them spend. I don't know how they could keep the way I would like to see it financially viable. Maybe if they only like if they didn't make Hero farmable and they just had this event for a while, and then he kind of goes,
mm,
he'd make him inaccessible for a few months, and then they bring in say Go in a similar type event. She was available for 10 days, and then she goes away and isn't available for a while. And then when they bring in um, the legendary event for Baymax, bring them all back and say, okay, you can farm them again, or do gem packs for them again. And the whales will have already spent, so there's no downside for Blue that way. But then the free to play players have just like a little bit more chance to participate, because as it is, lots of free to play players didn't even get Elsa the first time around.
oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, if you go to mine, I'm still I haven't unlocked my honor, and all of my frozen team are still at level one
Oh,
because
oh.
there was just no reason for me to unlock them or spend resources on them because I'm not
Anna's the
suffering in
best
terms of I
one.
didn't
You gotta
drop.
go get her.
I know I kept holding off to like make a video of just like unlocking all of them,
But she's
and
so
it's
good.
never. I don't know. I haven't experimented enough or done enough research on figuring out if I can build a team around her. But as soon as I make that video, probably hopefully this week I'll get some time. Been a little slam. So, but yeah, I'm literally chilled on my Frozen. They're all just sitting there, and my world hasn't fallen apart. I'm still loving the game, enjoying the game, and I haven't needed to touch my Frozen characters. So, you know,
Perfect, man.
yeah. So, but yeah, I'm gonna start because I think I was building up the rest of finishing off my Kingdom meta, even though that's kind of going out. And now that I've kind of spent all the formerly exclusive characters out of the exchange store, all my kind of farming, I think I'm chasing, waiting for the Frozen event to come around again. So, Aquanova put in a big chunk of text. I think it's going to be very similar to the Frozen event. Yeah, probably if the legendary events are gonna run like that. But also because we say we always run out these events, they're nice, and then some of them are the soft events or the smaller events. That if they have a constant event running for like in the background for everyone to keep playing, actually engage and play. Even if it's just repeats, if you don't get anything out of it, that you can actually play around with the characters, put them in their own little sandbox. That might be a way to do a longer term event rather than the format we have now with like the 7 to 10 days. Would be nice, but again, like I said, it maybe comes down to the monetary policy of how to monetize the game for Glue. So we'll see. But there are plenty of options there. Maybe not a full team of villains out of Big Hero 6, but there's definitely a ready-made team there. So if anyone's been keeping count, because there's a lot of origins in the game, what do we think number one is here?
Hercules. It's got to be Hercules.
Oh, remember, it's movies from the 2000s
Oh,
onwards, so
um,
Hercules is a little more golden era.
rats. Then I don't know.
All right. I'll let you think about it, and I'll pop it up in a sec while I just burn a few more of these last questions. I think I fell behind after Meathead came in. The San Francisco
uh,
Institute of Technology is
yeah.
based on which national park?
Okay. I think Ed 5000 is right, and it's got to be Inside Out. Um, which national park? No idea.
I think I'll burn through these a little
You
quicker.
mean like
So we can,
American
yeah,
American National Park? Because I know them.
yeah, it would be an American national park.
I don't know any of them.
It's very similar. It was based. I believe it's in San Francisco. San Francisco. It is called Presidio, and it's a very cool park that has a very kind of college campus feel to it, and it's kind of based on that. The next one, who was originally supposed to be Baymax creator, and Edie was correct. Um, I thought that was a really good one. It's not the most obvious, but obviously there's a perfect 5 emotions there that make up a perfect team. And I really like that film, so
Me
that made
too.
it to number. Yeah, I mean, again, one. I think it's just one of those odd ones that people don't want to watch because they know it gets them emotional. So you kind of got to be in the mood to watch that film, which is maybe why people don't just throw it on as easily as they would some of
Such a
the
good
other
movie,
repeated
though.
movies. Yeah, it is an excellent movie. So I think that would make up a really cool team. And obviously you've got Anger in here already. So it's just sitting there waiting to happen. And that's why it made my number one spot for part one of this list. And so this is, so if you came in late, these are movies that are in the game. There are two from the year 2000 onwards, because there was enough to make at least three of these lists. So where this is part one. And at number one was Inside Out. So, how we feel about that one? Um, do we think we're going to get all of those in one event, or are they going to kind of come out almost like Toy Story 3 Villains did?
I think the way that they brought out The Incredibles with having one character farmable and then you need that character to keep going. And it's the same way that they brought out Toy Story originally. I personally really like that model, and it allows people to have like an entry point into the event that's not too restrictive. So I'm hoping that like a lot of these franchises, you see them come out that way. Like it's already set up for doing that for Inside Out. Already set up to do it that way for Brave. They do Brave for Wreck-It Ralph. They do Wreck-It Ralph. Arguably for Monsters Inc. Even Big Hero 6 now, it's already set up. Actually, a lot of these. So I mean, I hope they do it that way. Personally, I find it a lot of fun, and you don't have to like farm hard an initial character to be able to just participate in the event.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that this is only probably part one of maybe at least three of these lists. So there's going to be so many characters that they could bring to the game, and this is obviously a list of things that already exist in the game. So it's probably not a major licensing issue that's holding them back. They obviously just want to eke them out, but there are so many, so they can't really legendary event or main event all of them. So there's got to be some of them that just kind of get thrown in there here and there as well. And then Aquanova said, I hope Joy is a super powerful support healer. Yeah, that'll kind of go along with her role. She is basically, she's also a leader. I don't know, maybe you want to give her a leader ability and as a support, because she does prop everyone up in that film. That would go with character. So, yeah, I don't know. Who would, Anger, what is Anger? Anger is he an attack or,
Yeah, he's an offense
let's see.
character.
Yeah, he's an offense character. So who you got left? Then you've got sadness and joy, fear. Um, I don't know who would be. Who would you get a tank out of there?
You could make Tank out of sadness. She could
Yeah,
just
she would just
the same way you
flop
could
over
make
and
the
stand
way
in the
you make
way.
Eeyore tank. She just stands there and just takes the beating. It's like, oh,
That'd be great. Fear would be defense.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Fear
Good
could
call
be a
there,
defense
Lonnie.
support. Disgust could be a nice attack character, or like
Yeah,
instead of an attack character, it could be like an attack type support character.
it'd be a pretty good team. So yeah, just animation wise as well, because I really like the animation on Anger, even though I haven't had a chance to use them. I normally see him like in opposing teams. I don't even know if I got him unlocked. So Fear could be an evasion tank. That would work too. Yeah, I was just because of the association of what they are. That's why they went number one for me in this list, because it just seems like you could do a lot with these characters, not only in the event, but just what you could do with their moves and how you theme them, and their synergy would be a lot of fun. So I'm quite happy for them to take their time with that one and get that just right, because those would be a lot of fun. So out of that top 10, then give Die Maker a chance. What do you want to see out that top 10 come first for you?
Oh, I'm a Navy veteran, so I'm going with water. So definitely Moana.
So I want to see the Moana, and I don't even need to ask Lud. It's
No,
okay.
for mine
If
it's
it's not
obvious.
Wreck-It Ralph, if it's not Wreck-It Ralph,
If it's
which one do you
not
pick?
Wreck-It Ralph, one of the top two would be really cool. I think probably Big Hero
Yeah,
6.
yeah. I mean, obviously for me, I put the list together, so obviously for me, it's going to be my number one, which is I'd like to see the Inside Out. Probably even more after I go and rewatch that movie again. Lonnie saying Zootopia. Yeah, I'd like to get some more of those in as well. Obviously every single one of these, but so yeah, let us know what your favorite was out of that top 10 list there. And next week, I think everyone quite liked this one. So next week we'll go back in time and do the pre 2000s, which would probably cover most of the golden era. John who's saying Moana as well. So yeah, that's all the major tentpole releases there. Seem to be getting a lot of support. Yep, Beauty and the Beast, very underrepresented. I think that'll be in next week's list. I can't remember who's the Beauty and the Beast character. Oh, yeah, we've only got Gaston. So there are absolutely no hero characters. So that'll definitely be on next week's list. I haven't really had a chance to come up with what order, so that'll be fun for me. And then I think we had a few of these questions if anyone wants to go through them. Who was originally supposed to be Baymax creator? It's been up on screen for a while. Don't think anyone put in an answer to that because we were having the good discussion about the emotions there. But it was Hiro's father. And
Makes
then
sense.
yeah, and then why don't I treat these more like trivia than questions? Big Hero 6 won an Academy Award for which category? Which would have been Best Animated Feature. And then the thing about the Mochi wearing rocket boots, Mochi wasn't actually even written into the script as far as I'm aware. There was the question would have been who is responsible for Mochi's inclusion in Big Hero 6, and there was a storyboard artist called Kendall Hoyer who just decided that Hiro's family needed a pet, so she kept drawing him into the storyboards, and whatever happened along the way, she just kept drawing him in, and they just eventually decided, okay, and it made it all the way through the pipeline and ended up being a character in the film. So literally, the storyboard artist decided they needed a cat, which is why I'm assuming she decided it was fun to draw rocket boots on him, and that's how Mochi ended up in the film. And then these ones I wouldn't have expected anyone to get. They created a piece of software to do crowd animations over at Disney Studios, and it was called the Denzin Factory.
Oof.
And these ones, I'm pretty sure no one would get, so these are more trivia than questions. But how many buildings does the final version of San Fransokyo contain? Or Fransokyo. There are actually 83,000 individual buildings in that simulation. Zan said RenderMan. No, RenderMan is Pixar's general rendering package, which I've used quite a bit. It's really powerful. It requires a massive amount of resource, but they probably would have rendered most things in RenderMan. But that was just they literally created a separate program for creating crowds. There's a bunch of those, but they obviously made their own for that film because they needed a certain look. I smell pollution in that city. Yeah, 83,000 buildings. And this I thought was how many animators worked on Big Hero 6? And it's a real specific number. It's not 6. Apparently there were 99, just short of the 100. You think you could have just got one more in there and rounded it out, but I guess that's not how it works. So, and then one little factoid I got there's so many Easter eggs and factoids about, but one I thought was quite interesting was I even typed it out. Big Hero 6 was the first Disney animated feature to show only the studio logos at the beginning, and the title card and credits only appear at the end. I'm pretty sure that was the only Disney film that's ever happened in up until that point. It may have happened since. So I guess there it is. That was the top 10. Those were the quiz and trivia for Big Hero 6 in honor of Hero Week, I guess we're going to call it, coming out. Let's see. And then we've got your guys' questions, which I think I'm managing to get on screen as well. So Crispy Fat said, I think I'll scroll through this as I read it. Yeah, that was a question that we asked Meathead. Are the devs looking into trying to develop more of a balanced arena? And then he went on to talk about the Frozen. And yeah, we covered that, and Meathead just gave us an answer for that. So there you go. You got an answer from Meathead directly on that one. I think that's the first for the show, which is cool. I just missed one there, I think.
We got to do that
So
more often.
Nathan also, yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll reach out and see if he wants to actually come on the show. And we can do a literal QA for the devs. What are thoughts on changes on arena rewards? Were the devs right or wrong in changing it to Mulan, but cutting down the amount of shards? I hadn't actually noticed.
That one's a little tough. I really like that they changed the character because it had been 3 months, and anyone who's getting their arena pack every day would have maxed or gotten close to maxing Robin Hood over those 3 months. So it was time to change the character.
Yeah.
So that part's good. I don't like that they reduced the number of tokens available. It's quite a significant drop in the number of tokens. It's 14 per week less, which kind of hurts. My only thinking is that they were seeing that people were getting 7-star Robin Hood too quickly and didn't want to repeat that with future arena characters. And so that's why they lowered it. But that one's kind of unfortunate.
Right. Yeah. So Dai, who has apparently, I saw in the chats earlier, has Gear 7 everything. Do you have a Gear 7 Mulan?
Mulan. Yes, I do have Mulan Gear 7.
Is she 7-starred?
Yes. Yeah, she's finished.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't have a couple Frozen. They're out tier 6. Still working on their 7. I choose which gear to go for first. Offensive players, of course, I'm going for speed and offense first before I do their health and defense. And of course, defensive characters, I do the health and defense first before I go with offensive speed.
Yeah, seems like a good strategy. Yep, definitely ours. Wild. Yeah, Daimaka's roster is very impressive. Do you think they'll cycle out characters for rewards, or they're just going to stick with Mulan for a while?
I think they're going to stick with her for a while. The way that she's set up, it's going to take about 6 months to max her out from the arena. So I could see her sticking out. And she doesn't really have an event to be associated with. I mean, they could stick her on a node, which will probably do at the end of her time in arena, for people who didn't max her or for newer players to catch up. Yeah, I could see her being there until the new year.
All right, so I think we're going with Mulan for a while there in arena, which is, yeah, I don't know. She had a little viability for a while, so I think it's the same with Robin Hood. He was kind of good and is situationally good, so they kind of probably picked a good balance of a half decent character for a reward there. And then Christopher, new player, actually a non-game related thing for once. Which of the Disney parks at Disney World would you visit if you only had one day? And what attraction would you think twice before riding?
If I only have one day at Disney World, I'm going to Magic Kingdom just because it's a classic. And I'm not going on It's a Small World. I'm sorry.
You're not going on Small World?
No, that's the one I'm thinking twice about riding.
Oh, thinking twice about riding. That's kind of, I don't know. We've always had a rule in my circle of friends and family that every time you go on a vacation to any of the Disney parks, that's worldwide because they all have one, you have to do Small World at least once. It's just like a rule. So otherwise you technically haven't gone to Disneyland. Let's see, Lonnie's going Splash. It's going away soon. Is Splash Mountain going away soon?
Yeah, Disney announced that they're going to rebrand it to be a Princess and the Frog themed ride.
Oh. I don't see. Oh, I mean, I guess they've been holding on to that Songs of the South theme for a while.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame. That's really classic. I mean, I know that has a lot of connotation to go along with it, but I guess in the light of current world events, or at least events in America, that maybe they're really finally thinking that needs to go away. Um, but yeah, it's a shame because I like the Briar Patch and the rabbit there. But okay, so Magic Kingdom is the best from Artemis, and then Converged Princess Tag over time. Oh, back to game stuff. What about Die? Which park?
Epcot.
Yeah,
I like eating.
good choice. Yep. It's just the second you said Epcot, my mind went straight to food. I wasn't thinking about anything
And
else.
they 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 also have some awesome shows there, and I love musicals and shows, and I sing, and
Yeah.
so that's always a draw for me too.
Yeah. I mean, when we were in 2018, 19, we were in Florida for a year, which was amazing because we were so close to the Disney parks. And out of all the parks we went to the most, we spent the most time at Epcot. It's kind of like, I mean, I know all the parks technically kids, or you'd say it was the adult park, but it kind of is the adult park, Epcot. You can spend a little more time there. It's a little less rammed and crazy, and obviously the food, especially when they have all the festivals on. So uh, then Converse, so good pick, Guy. I'm with you there. Do you think they will develop the princess tag over time? There is a princess tag, isn't there? I'm pretty sure I saw that when I was putting together this list because I had to go through every single one of these tags um, to pick out all the films that were actually in here, unless I missed it. There you go. There's a princess tag. Oh, it means do they think we'll develop it over time? In terms of synergy, is that what you mean, Converge?
Yeah, I think they're going to do something with it. I mean, it's still early yet, and there's still a lot of princesses they can release to add to that. I think we're going to see something else come of it. It's kind of weird to have that tag and only have Mulan use it right now.
Yeah, how does Mulan use it? How does it benefit her?
She has a chance to assist princesses with her basic.
Oh,
So when
okay.
they attack,
And
she has a chance to assist.
oh, okay. So, and most people won't have Pocahontas. Probably could get Merida, and then everyone obviously has Ariel. So, and Jasmine's becoming more of a thing. I guess she's Kingdom as well, isn't she? So she would fit into that synergy. Um,
Yeah.
so would you get a double assist? Because Jasmine assists. So can you trigger a chain reaction of assists there? If Aladdin goes, and then Jasmine goes, and then ooh, someone has to test that.
Yes. Same thing that if you attack with Jasmine, you have a chance of Robin Hood and Mulan both assisting.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that could be worth exploring with this kind of new Aladdin resurgence. And then Artemis says, now I want a Mickey pretzel.
Actually, if you do your basic with Anna, she has a chance to call an assist. So you could have Mulan assisting on her own and Robin Hood assisting on his own, and then a third person assisting through Anna's call. That would be fun. I'm going to try that actually.
Mega chain reaction. Oh, nice. Cool. So yeah, Princess Faction, they could do something more with that. There's quite a few of them in the game, and if we get some of those others, then we get Tiana in the game. That might become a thing. Artem's just saying she wants a Mickey pretzel now. They got the cheese-filled ones as well. I want one of those. Those are good. Fortunately, I think it's going to be a while before I go to a Disney. I don't know. I don't know which country's less risky to travel to right now.
Just don't travel.
Yeah, that's
Just
the thing.
don't
We can't even
travel.
travel right now. So,
Probably
but if I was
France.
going to risk it, I wouldn't risk it for a Mickey pretzel.
If
Not
you're
even
gonna
the
risk it
cheese-filled one.
for a Mickey pretzel, probably France would be the least dangerous, I think.
Here's the thing, Disneyland Paris. I don't think I've ever seen a cheese-filled Mickey pretzel. They do pretzel with no, they don't have a cheese-filled one. I don't think they got some really other good stuff though. They got a lot of good food in the Disneyland Paris. Wait till 2050. I was because I used to live. Well, I'm stuck in the UK right now, if some of you already know. But I used to live here. So Disneyland Paris, and I used to work at Disneyland Paris at one point. So that's kind of my favorite Disney park in a way because it's very personal to me. And the food there is amazing. And the when we moved back home to Canada, we're saying we would go back to Disneyland Paris when they did a $2.8 billion expansion is happening right now at Disneyland Paris, which is the biggest expansion of any park ever. Which means there's going to be all the lands that all the other ones got, like a Frozen land and the Star Wars land, and they're even having the Tron coaster come over from China. So when that all got finished, which was scheduled for I think 2022. I think that's probably delayed now. That's when we would go back to Disneyland Paris. But right now, I don't know if we're, as soon as we get home to Canada, I don't think we're leaving ever again for the foreseeable future. But yeah, but I think the question was Disney World Park. So yeah, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna take Epcot and move on to what was the next question that we got in the channel. John's question. I kind of did it without reading it. I kind of already skipped ahead. That's a good one. Or which Disney park around the world would you visit today? So yeah, there you go, Disneyland Paris. And although you say that, but then you've got the new Tokyo expansion coming as well. I don't know. You guys been to any other parks outside the American parks, or no?
I've been to Disney World like a dozen times and to none of the other parks.
You've never been to the original Disneyland?
Nope.
Ooh.
I've only been
You
to
have to do that at some
I've
point.
only been to LA once, and it was for like a layover at the airport. That's it.
Oh yeah, yeah. 'Cause Anaheim's a long way away from LA. Well, it's not super long, but it's not close. It's the same. Actually, that's the same way Disneyland Paris is nowhere near Paris. But there you go. So probably not Florida now. Yeah. Um, yeah. We were talking about this. Me and my wife was like, yeah, I'm so glad we're not in Florida right now because we could have been there. We were just missed all this craziness. So yeah, we got lots of friends back there in Florida, and it's crazy. And LA as well, all of California. So, oh yeah, stay safe, Edie, because he's in LA, and it is seriously crazy there right now. LA to Anaheim, less than an hour. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, less than an hour. I mean, if you're in Toronto, you're still in Toronto, so I'm used to that. No problem.
Yeah, it's the same everywhere. Everything, they say they're close to cities, and everything's probably out in a suburb somewhere. So I guess you guys haven't been to the other part. I would probably say, if not Paris, then Japan, because they've got a new gate opening as well. Because they have Disneyland, obviously, it's the main gate. So they have Disney Sea right now. So I don't know if it's going ahead, but the proposed thing was to have Disney Air.
Isn't there like a Cars World at the Disneyland?
California Adventure basically has Colorado. Is it not Colorado Springs? Radiator Springs.
Yeah, then that's the one I would want to go to.
Yeah, and it's Disneyland is nice the same way Disney Paris is nice, is that it's close. You can walk between the two parks, whereas Disney World, obviously, you have to either take the mass transit system or even getting to the car park.
No,
it takes longer to get from the car park on the monorail.
No, I need the monorail.
No, there's no monorail. There's no monorail. There is a railway. There's a railway and everything.
No, the monorail's like not all of the appeal, but it's a huge part of the appeal of Disney World. I love the monorail.
So yeah, no, unfortunately there's no monorail in any of the other Disney parks. Although you can take a bullet train in Japan to Disneyland in Tokyo.
That'd be cool.
So there you go, John. That I would pick Paris or Japan. Although actually, all the Asian ones, Shanghai, they've got all the cool ones. We've covered pretty much every Disney park personally. But yeah, Shanghai's looking pretty cool too. But right now, in terms of the whole virus thing, like, no, can't do it. But if that wasn't a factor, then yeah, those two, or three, I guess, was supposed to open by now. But thank you, COVID. Yeah, shame puddles. Avengers Campus coming to California Adventure. Yeah, they're slowly bringing in a lot of Marvel stuff in the parks as well. Let's see where we're up to. Ooh, this one's long. For the next QA, big apologies for the wordiness. With all the different events and chases now in the game, any thoughts or suggestions on which ones new and old players alike should prioritize? Like we have the various single characters and group characters events that require significant investment. And then he lists all the Toy Story, Jafar. Yeah, I think we kind of covered this as to which one of the top tens, maybe a couple weeks ago. We did a which to prepare for the events, which characters to chase. I think it's personal. It's on roster. Like I said, I was rounding out my kingdom and getting my exclusives, and now I am personally focusing on my Frozen set. I was kind of getting my Aladdin and Jasmine, but like I said, you
Mm-hmm.
have to pick. So I think in terms of what event, also it's due to the cycle of events going around. Aladdin just happened, didn't it? And so I'm kind of basing it on that as well, what just went. So you kind of have to decide how much time you have before you think one's rolling around again as to what you pick. I don't know. Do you guys have thoughts on which to prioritize at the moment?
I personally pick characters that you like, that are fairly strong and be able to keep you somewhat competitive, and go after them. And don't worry about having everything, because you're not going to get everything. So just
Yeah.
just worry about making a core team or core group of characters that works for you, and pushing them as far as you can go. And then, yeah, obviously having enough to get a decent amount from Scrooge's Money Bin and the Stone Trials as well. Those are going to be important.
Yeah, that was the next
But
part of his
that's
wordiness was
those are more to help complement the team that you're building, and not the chase itself.
yeah, that was from Jagro. Yeah, basically, Jagro, if you have your core team and you're holding okay and you're not obsessed with like hitting number one in your tournament, or you know, if you have a core team that you can coast by with, then I guess it just comes down to what you prefer. I know, and like you were saying, you get easily distracted. I think that's the problem. We try to advise against bouncing from event to event and panic farming. They will come around. You'll get there. You basically just have to focus down on what you really want. So for me at the moment, um, I finished out those exclusives or former exclusives for a Kingdom meta team that are holding me okay, and I'm basically going to focus on Frozen right now, personally. Di, who has pretty much everything, what are you focusing on event wise? Is there anything you need to focus on?
I always, because I went so hard in beta. Sometimes when a event comes around the second time, I had nothing to do, so I decided to take events and at least twice. So I'll get characters, maybe 5 star, 6 star. That way, when the vet comes back around, I have something to do. So yeah, so my Elsa is only a 5 star, um, almost tier 7 gear. But yeah, then the Incredibles I did into Onward, I did into events. So yeah, I like doing the events. That's why I don't hurry up and finish them the first time through.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm similar. So there you go. That's perspective from three different levels of play. Just enjoy the events, take your time, and pick a focus. And then in the chats, Lonnie and Puddles are talking about Stitch could just be released as a single character and just make him viable, like plug and play for any team, and then release things like Leela later. I don't know if they would do that. Would they release such a decent character as a single character by itself? Or Puddles even said Stitch would be the reward in the new tower event. Oh, that's a possibility too. That's a good idea. Stitch themed tower. Um, Maybe. You guys want to see a character like that only unlockable through this new event structure or tower structure, whatever it is?
I'm sorry, what's the question? I got distracted.
That got distracted. There, Lonnie and Puddles are having a little chat saying that maybe you could release Stitch and him be a standalone, where he's good enough to be plug and play a bit, maybe like you use Ana, and then maybe he would be a new tower rewarder for that new event mode. So would we want to see a character locked behind an event mode like that?
Yeah, I don't know. The characters you release, they're all like different how they bring them out, so hard to say exactly.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know, because everyone wants Stitch, so yeah, he would be like a major chase character, kind of like how a slow drip on how you get Steamboat Mickey, except you'd want him to be awesome once you actually get him. So that is an option. That's another option. Like we said, there's so many characters, they're gonna have to maybe come out with different ways to release them. So yeah, that could be a good one. So good thoughts from the chats there, people. And Artemis is also saying, do we think Stitch would be oceanic? He'd kind of have to be, right?
He's already tagged that way.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, he's already tagged that way. So because you can see some details on that card if you bring them up. So then thoughts on spell adjustments. Did Hammer really get changed enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it needed a huge nerfing. I mean, it's a decent spell, but it's not game changing. I think it's good the way it is. I don't think it's overpowered. It's one of the
Is it
stronger
still
ones.
bugged
But
after the update? Is it still bugged after the update?
I think it's working properly.
Oh, okay. So it's working properly now. Except I think it's bugged because it goes too fast, but I think Blood kind of explained the mechanics behind that one to me. And then Johnny slipped in another one. Let's see. Yep. Good to be back, and he wishes a good holidays. Yeah, it was pretty good. As far as Hero Tournament goes, do you think introducing him opens up or shrinks the meta? I would say it probably opens it up. I've seen so many weird comps now with Hero.
Well, we'll have to wait to see what the other BH6 brings. And then, I mean, there could be another meta team to add to this team beats that team, and that team beats that team, and that, so I mean, they could easily be a Frozen team, whereas Incredibles team can beat them. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, I personally think I haven't got him, but from what I've seen, it feels like it's opened up the meta a little more. And obviously, the more characters you get, the more theory crafting, the more options.
Right.
Pretty much. So just wait to see what the community comes up with. You got any thoughts on that, Lud?
Yeah, I think it opens it up a lot too. I've already seen him used with Frozen teams, with Kingdom teams. I saw someone use him very effectively with Zerg earlier. I think it just gives more options, and if you had a team that was pretty good but couldn't really rival Frozen, he gives you that little bit of a boost where you might be able to give them a run for their money now.
All right, so there it is. I think that's all the questions, unless you guys had anything else in the chats that you wanted to throw away, because we are actually running up to 2 hours on this one. So yeah, do you guys have anything you wanted to throw in there on any of the questions or topics that we touched this week?
I mean, the one thing I find weird, we didn't talk about this yet, is they did stone trials, 2 different stone trials, and then instead of coming out with the third one for the 2 stones that are left, they cycled back and did those 2 ones again. So
Yeah,
I don't know what's holding up the Oceanic trial for speed and defense stones, but I do find that kind of curious.
Do we know for sure it's Oceanic? Or are we just assuming?
That depends if Meathead's still in the chat or not. Okay, he's not. So yes, we do. And there was a graphic leak by some data miners that confirms
Oh, okay.
that it's speed and defense in the Oceanic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And did requirements change for mythical?
Yeah, they did.
It
They got
did,
a little
didn't
bit.
it? Yeah, they made it easier.
They got a little
Yeah.
bit easier, and presumably it's going to be the same for the other stone trials. Although we don't actually have confirmation of that yet.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, they cycled back around with the stones. That kind of came and went kind of quietly. During the 2 weeks we were away.
Yeah, that's not a plot twist,
Yeah.
Lonnie. Meathead's always like ghosting and lurking. That's what he does.
It's kind of his job, isn't it?
A little
bit. Yeah. So, but yeah, it would be cool if he is lurking. Then, yeah, you have an open invitation anytime you need a forum or would like to have a direct line to speak to the community. I think quite a lot of the community do actually watch the show on replay, if not live, because of the time zone differences and whatnot. But yep, for sure. If you want to come on, and we could gather it in advance, some questions, so that people know you're coming on. Just let us know. You are welcome on any time to do that little segment. So yeah, stones. Yeah, that would be nice for them to lower the requirements, because I don't think I managed to get off that base one where you just get some of the currency. Which I think if I go to my exchange, you can see the pathetic amount that I do have of that. Yeah, I still only got just over 1K there. And I don't think I can actually buy anything. Nope, everything's 2,000. So I don't even have enough to buy any of that yet. So yeah, as you can see, I maxed out all of those guys. So yeah, my focus now is Anna out of here, and obviously calling back to that what do you focus on thing. And yeah, I think he also mentioned in there all the side little things like the stones and the quests, like downtown villains for and I think, isn't it still running? We've got Rune Rumble. Again, don't need to pay too much attention to that, but I wouldn't split my focus from farming your main teams for going for these little soft events here for your resources there. And then we got Queen's Clash still. So that's this week. We got any idea what's coming in the current week to come now?
A lot of people are speculating that there's a big Hero 6 event coming. There's still the speculation of the event towers and Stitch. So yeah, I don't know. There's a lot they can do, but the current event ends in a couple days, and the pass holder ends as well. So hopefully we get something fun on the 15th, 16th.
Yeah, very good. It's your favorite day, right? Is release day on Wednesday.
Wednesday is my favorite
So-
day. It's patch notes day. It's always something interesting and unexpected that comes.
Oh yeah, Zam pointed out that I scrolled down too quickly. You can actually get something out of here for 1,000. So I could get one. I could get one chip. I think I'll wait. It's not hurting me. Well, it kind of is, but not really. I'll just take my time and enjoy the parts of the game. I'll get stones eventually. So probably more. Melani's predicting probably more Big Hero 6. I guess we'll see, and then I guess we will be back to talk about that next week. So if you guys don't have anything else to add that you want to wrap up on, Di, you got anything?
Nope. Just loving the game.
Yep. Game is good. Lots of new content. We'll let Lud have final word this week.
Yeah, I really like the direction they're going. I like what they did with Hiro. He seems strong and competitive, but so far not crazy overpowered. We'll see what the rest of the team is like. And yeah, looking forward to what's to come. So thanks a lot, everyone.
Awesome. Thanks for coming by, everyone. And thank you, Meathead. Definitely get back to us about coming on the show if you want to. And otherwise, we will see you guys later. See you real soon. Welcome, Lonnie. And Lonnie's getting an invitation too at some point. See if she wants to come on as our first guest. Maybe when we got some kind of game quiz thing going. Thanks, Edie. Thanks, Janu. Zan, Blake. There were quite a few people in here this week. Puddles, Artemis, Aquanova. Can't leave out Moving Man. We got Edie. I think that was everyone. All right, and there's Blake too. Thank you too. And we did it. Wow, we covered, even if you count the after show, that was a full 2 hours. So we are probably out now, and I will see you guys soon.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mac. See you, Dad.
Yep. See you, bud.